Okay, let's look at the homework 2.3, problem number 6. Alright, so let's evaluate this limit. Alright, so what we want to do is if you plug in, see what happens. If you plug in 0, you can see that you have a 0 on the bottom and a 0 on the bottom, so that's not going to be pretty here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to take the common denominator and see if we can make sense out of this expression. So limit, alright, so the common denominator would be, alright, so that would be t times square root of 1 plus t. Alright, so this one you have the same denominator, so it's going to be 7, and there's a negative sign here, so we have to multiply 7 by square root of 1 plus t. Right, so just t is going to 0. Alright, then you notice that if you as t goes to 0, denominator goes to 0, and the numerator goes to 0 because it's going to be 7 minus 7. So what we can do, first thing is, actually I should have done it before, right? 7 is in common, so I'm gonna just this is just a constant multiple, so I'll just place it in front. Alright, so pull that out, so 7 is just outside here. Alright, then you have a limit as t approaches 0. Alright, so you have a 1 minus square root of 1 plus t over t times square root of 1 plus t. Alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to do the trick, since we don't like the square root, at least I don't, so you multiply by, right? So I'm going to multiply top by 1 plus square root of 1 plus t. And the same thing to the bottom. So 1 plus square root of 1 plus t. Right? So this is going to give us 7 here. Alright, then you have a limit as t approaches 0. Alright, so this is a minus b times a plus b, so a squared would be 1 minus square root of 1 plus t squared would be 1 plus t. Right, then you have over, right, denominator we can't really do too much, so I'll just write down, so t times square root of 1 plus t times 1 plus square root of 1 plus t. Right, then we can cancel things out. You can see that here 1 minus 1 cancel out, and also here you have negative t, there's a t here, so a common factor, so cancel that, so that becomes 1 here. Alright, then what we get is just 7 times limit of negative 1 on top, then you have a square root of 1 plus t times quantity 1 plus square root of 1 plus t, right, as t approaches 0. Right, then you can see that this is going to be, alright, 7 times, right, negative 1 is negative 1, so you plug in 0 here, so it's a square root of 1, so it's going to be 1 times quantity 1 plus square root of 1 plus 0, so it's another 1, right? So it's going to be negative 7 over 2. Alright, so let's type this guy in. Right, it's negative 7 over 2. Right, let's double check. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.